गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We can start now. Hemanji, can you start reading from Uparama, page 76?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I think your screen is like going in an infinite loop, like, I'm not able to see exactly where you are. Okay. Okay, my translate is not that great, so please forgive me if I pronounce it anything wrong. And this is my first session, so I'm not sure like whether I'll be, good, or my accent is okay or not. Anyway, I'll start. So I have to start from discipline 3, Upar Maha, right? Yes, okay, thank you. So,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Upar Maha, withdrawal or quietude. Going on the third discipline, the dialogue is Upar Maha Kaha Swadharmanushtana Meva. So this word Uparmaha has several meanings. One meaning is maintaining the peace of mind which has been acquired through Samaha. Is it Samaha? I'm not sure.
Shamaha.
Shamaha. Okay. This means preventing the disturbance. So the difference between Shamaha and Uparamaha is that Shamaha means calming the disturbed mind, and Uparamaha means maintaining the calmness. So the remedy for disturbance is Shamaha, Shamaha, right? Okay. And the
Shamaha.
prevention, Shamaha, okay, sorry. And the prevention of disturbance or maintenance of peace of mind is Uparamaha. One is the treatment and the other is the prevention. This is one meaning. The second meaning is sannyasa ashramaha. A monastic life or monasticism itself is called uparamaha. But here the author gives it another meaning, and that is swadharma anushtanam. This is the third meaning. Now let us see what is meant by Swadharma Anushtanam. The scriptures give a technical meaning to this term. In the scriptures, our actions are divided into several types. 5 types activities are talked about in the scriptures. These are Nitya Karma. Karmas are rituals which have to be performed on a daily basis. Naimittika Karma. Karmas are rituals which have to be performed occasionally. Kamya Karma. Karmas are rituals performed for the purpose of attaining some desired results. Example, going to heaven after death or begetting children, etc. Prayaschit Karma. Karmas are rituals performed for expiation of sins or making amends for sins. Nishiddha Karma. Karmas are rituals Karmas are rituals performed for causing some harm to someone. These are forbidden karmas. Of these 5 types of karmas, the scripture says that we should eliminate the last 3 to the extent possible and retain the first 2. That is nitya and naimittika karmas should be performed without fail, and kamya, prayaschitta and nishiddha karma should be reduced significantly. The reason for this injection is that the first 2, that is the nitya and naimittika, are supposed to be conducive for spiritual growth. They can be called Vedanta friendly karmas. Just as we have a gymnasium where we can do certain types of exercises for the sake of our physical health or growth, we require gymnasium for our mental health and spiritual growth. According to the scriptures, Nitya and Naimittika karmas act like that gymnasium. We can, sorry, okay, we can therefore term these two karmas as spiritual growth-oriented activities or spiritual activities. The other three, that is, Kamya, Prayaschitta, and Nishiddha karmas, are supposed to be Vedanta unfriendly karmas. Kamya karmas are meant for the material growth of the individual or external growth of the individual for prosperity, name, fame, etc. We simply call them materialistic activities. Prayaschitta karmas are those activities which are meant to neutralize or nullify our own past negative actions or activities. They are like medicinal karmas. If we have eaten something which is not suitable to our system, we are bound to end up with stomach upset. So there has been a wrong action on our part, which is eating the wrong food. We take certain medicines to treat this condition. This medicine consumption is an activity not meant for spiritual growth, not meant for material growth, but it is meant for neutralizing the previous negative activities. They are called prayaschitta karmas or parihara karmas. Fifth type of karma is known as nishiddha karmas. They represent all those actions which may be beneficial to us but which are harmful to other people. One should not, therefore, engage in those actions. For example, let us let us take the case of a person wanting to smoke. It may give him some pleasure, as long as it is damaging to other people, though passive smoking, he should not do that action. If he is sensible and considerate, it is a different matter. That irrespective of giving him some pleasure, smoking is bad for his own health also. We can imagine any number of such activities. The scripture bans such karmas. No Nishiddha karma means prohibited actions. The scriptures contain a huge list of such actions. We need to study them not for following but for avoiding. Like in diet, we have got what to eat and what to avoid. Similarly, we have a huge list of prohibited actions in the scriptures for diligently avoiding them. Uparamaha, therefore, is gradual increase sorry, gradual increase of the first two types of activities. Sorry. Okay. First two types of activities which are meant for spiritual growth and gradual reduction of the other three activities. Thus, we thus we need to tilt the balance of activities in our life. And here the use of word Swadharma by the author refers to the Nitya and Naimittika karmas. Anushtanam means performance and Eva means only. That is confining to those activities only. One should therefore confine oneself only to the two Vedanta friendly activities and avoid or reduce the other three types of karmas. Next is discipline 4. Titikshri. Is it? Titiksha. Endurance or forbearance. Titiksha ka.
Now, Hemanji, that session,
Okay.
Nirmala ji can one topic.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
If there is any doubt or anything, we can clear.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
If anybody can has any doubt or anything, you can ask and we can
Yeah,
discuss.
just reflecting Shamubai because it was quite a lot of activities described in this Uparama.
Yeah. Okay, then Nirmala ji
Yeah,
can.
I can start. Discipline 4. Titiksha, endurance or forbearance. Titiksha kaha, शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखादि sahishnutvam. The fourth discipline, which is part of the third qualification, is called titiksha. This is considered to be a very important and useful discipline not only for spiritual seekers but also for all others who may not be spiritually oriented. This is based on the idea that we human beings will have to often face painful experiences in life. No human being's life is a uniform path of roses. Everyone will have to face painful experiences. And that is why we are advised to read the scriptures and the mythological stories, that is, Puranas, regularly, because when we read them, we find that all people, irrespective of whether they were good or bad, dharmic or adharmic, everyone confronts misery and pain. And that is why Bhagwan Rama himself incarnated as a human being and suffered painful experiences. Lord Krishna was born in a jail, so from his birth itself he faced challenges. Dharmaputra Yudhishthira, considered as an embodiment of dharma and a paragon of virtue, had to live in the forest for 14 long years. Then we have the story of Nala and Damayanti. We have got stories after stories from which we learn that life has got lot of pleasurable moments, but whether we like it or not, life involves various painful experiences, also with various gradations. Some of these are in the form of physical pain and some of them are in the form of mental anguish. Physical pain is called vyadhi in Sanskrit. Mental pain is called adhi. So it is said that adhi vyadhi sahitam janma. Physical pain and mental anguish are constant companions in life. The unfortunate fact is that when we go through pain, be it physical or mental, it invariably results in the mind becoming burdensome. As we have seen earlier, a burdened mind is good for nothing. Conducting life itself becomes very difficult. One cannot engage in any constructive activity. What to talk of spiritual studies? So it follows that every human being has to find a method of handling pain. When faced with such situation, we all first try some of the conventional methods. The first method we generally try is finding out a solution or a remedy for the pain by bringing about the appropriate changes in the conditions. This is the remedial method, and sometimes this method works also. But often, the remedial measures may prove to be very expensive, physically, mentally, time-wise, energy-wise, tension-wise, stress-wise, etc. And worse still, often we may find that with the remedy, the present pain may go away, but it may soon get replaced with another type of pain. Bhagavatam gives an example of a person carrying a load on his right shoulder. When he switches the load from the right shoulder to the left shoulder, he gets immense relief for a short while, but soon enough the pain starts in his left shoulder. Nevertheless, we do tend to take this approach, which we may call the solution approach. Then there is a second method. We go on tolerating the pain because either there is no remedy or the remedy is very expensive, or we know that the remedy would lead to some other pain. Whatever be the reason, we go on experiencing the pain because of which pressure mounts up in our mind and body. Our time comes when we are no longer able to handle the pain, and then the only solution we find is to convert the pain into anger and explode. It is called blowing the top, letting out the steam on any helpless victim who comes in the vicinity. This is the explosion approach. But there may be situations when we cannot explode because all the people around are elderly or seniors, etc., and therefore we may opt to suppress the pain and suffer it silently for years and years. And in such suppression, there will not be an explosion, but an implosion. We will end up victimizing ourselves, resulting in a lot of physiological damage. One may feel that one has become a worthless, useless person physiologically because of deep trauma. Therefore, suppression is also not a proper solution because that will cause immense self-damage. We are aware of only these three methods to solve our problem. But our scriptures talk about a fourth method which we do not know or think about much. Bhagwan or the Lord has given all of us a capacity to tolerate pain or withstand pain. This is called endurance or tolerance, which is called titiksha. Everyone has got this tolerance, but the only difference is that this tolerance threshold varies from individual to individual. Therefore, we talk about a short-tempered person. The situation remaining the same, one person explodes immediately, another person after a few days, and another person after a few more days. So all of us have titiksha, but the threshold varies. When the pain is within the threshold limits or tolerance levels, we do not experience it as pain at all. Pain is not pain within our threshold. A pain is a pain only when it goes beyond the threshold. And so suppose if we find out a method by which the threshold levels or titiksha is gradually increased by appropriate understanding and sadhana or practice. If we can thus increase the threshold, what is pain to others will not be one for us because feeling of pain is highly subjective. When the pain falls within the threshold, the mind calls it a situation. When it goes beyond the threshold, we call it pain. So, titiksha means increasing the level of endurance or patience or immunity or resistance power, both physically and mentally. Like a healthy body is immune to diseases that are around, a healthy mind also has a high resistance or tolerance power. Should I still continue?
Yeah, please do. Please do. Till this titiksha is over.
Atal titiksha is over. Okay. The author therefore says that the fourth method is the elevation of the threshold level of our endurance or capacity. This capacity he refers to as sahasnishnutvam, which means endurance or forbearance. At the physical level, it is called endurance, and at the mental level, it is called forbearance or patience. These two together is called titiksha. The author illustrates this qualification both at the physical and mental level. At the physical level, he refers to sahasnishnutvam with regard to shitaha, that is cold, and ushnaha, that is heat. So one aspect of sahashnutvam is the physical capacity to withstand the ups and downs in the physical conditions like summer, winter, rain, etc. For example, in the hot summer season, one may use an air conditioner at home, but air conditioners may not be available everywhere where one goes. If the physical body cannot tolerate the conditions in a non-air conditioned place like a classroom, student will not be able to concentrate in the class. Therefore, it's very important to develop physical toughness. This is referred to by the author as Shitoshna Sahasnutva. The author also talks about developing this endurance at the mental level and refers to it as sukha, pleasure, and dukkha, mental agony. It is with regard to emotional pain we suffer due to the actions of people around, including our own family members. We usually have got high expectations. How our spouses should treat us, how our children should treat us, or the daughter-in-law should treat us, how the grandchildren should treat us, how the taxi driver should treat us, the vendor, and how a beggar should treat us, etc. We have expectations, and any expectation not fulfilled comes as mental pain. It can be caused by their behavior or it can be caused by their language. Suppose we are talking to a person and that person looks elsewhere. This will cause us pain. The more sensitive we are, greater the pain we will suffer. So greater the sensitivity, greater should be the tolerance level. Otherwise, life will be miserable. And even if we want to share the pain with someone, nobody will be available. Therefore, in all unfavorable situations, we should have the capacity to bring all of them within our tolerance limits. That means we should make our tolerance limit higher and higher so that all situations which cause pain can come with those limits. We need to understand one aspect carefully. Suppose after increasing our tolerance limits, we find that our child misbehaves or throws tantrums. What should we do? Do we say that because of the highly increased tolerance levels, we now have the capacity to tolerate the misbehavior? That would be foolish. We will need to correct the child. Now, we may correct the child for two reasons. One, because of our intolerance. And second, because such a behavior is not good for the child's growth. Therefore, it does not mean that a man or woman of titiksha should go on endlessly tolerating such misbehavior. They also have a responsibility to work to improve the situation, not because of intolerance, but because the situation needs to be improved for the sake of the child's future. This is titiksha, the fourth discipline.
Okay, thank you, Nati. I have a few points to make from Pujas from Dayananda Saraswati's book on this. He says that accepting does not mean that you should not do anything about it, about the painful or painful or hard, miserable situation that you are in. You can acknowledge it and then do what is necessary, what can be done. If we can improve it, definitely we should, and we need not allow anybody to step on our toes. That's not what this titiksha means, but acknowledging the pain as a reality in this Vidya world, that is after acknowledging that, we do what can be done to improve the situation, if it is anything is possible. Else we just acknowledge that pain. Uh, he also quotes a very nice verse. It is said elsewhere, Sahanam sarva dukkhanam अप्रतिकार पूर्वकं चिंता विलाप रहितं सा तितिक्षा तितिक्षा निगादयते सः तितिक्षा निगादयते सहनं, putting up with sarva dukkhanam, all unpleasant situations without anxiety, worry and complaining. Further, apratikara purvakam, accepting gracefully what cannot be changed, where people are involved and you cannot change them. You give them the freedom to be what they are and draw boundaries to take care of yourself. That is titiksha. This is how titiksha is defined in the Shastra. These are Fuji Swamiji's words. Uh, that
Thank you.
explains titiksha. It's like,
Shamu,
okay,
yeah, I said thanks for sharing.
okay, okay, fine. Yeah, I thought this has to be shared because you should not be confusing titiksha with just blindly accepting any misbehavior or any wrong thing in our, even in our society. We need not accept it, but sorry, I'm not sorry. We need not simply keep quiet on it. If it is, even if it is some adharma or like the way Hindus are treated in our current India. So we should not keep quiet. Okay, titiksha. Let's tolerate everything. We should not do that. We should we need we should act for dharma, for protection of dharma. We need to do what we can do, but also accept the fact that these are part of the relative reality or the this world, worldly living. These are all part. We need not get any tensed or any uh, uh, like any there is no reason for any anger or anything like that. We should act wisely instead and do what is necessary to be done. We need not uh, what you say, we need not have any mental issues or anything with because of intolerance. That's what mainly this titikshas is. We acknowledge the such actions as even adharma is also part of Ishvara's order. It doesn't mean we should keep quiet on it or allow it, but not allowing it is also part of Ishvara's order. So yeah, Ajiji, you were saying something?
Yeah, I just wish to make one important observation, which was actually mentioned very clearly here. So the whole process that we are looking into something like this actually means that we are increasing our sensitivity. So it very clearly mentions there that when you increase your sensitivity, you will also be opening yourself up to pain, because you start noticing various things, and you expect even the beggar to behave in a certain way, which actually may not happen. So since the sensitivity increases, it is also mentioned there that you got to increase your tolerance. And also it is also mentioned a little later that if, let us say, there is intolerance from a behavior of your child, then what do? So that is when you again step in, and then you again try to uh, uh, act sensibly over there and behave accordingly. So the whole point is actually about reaching the balance actually. So you got to be aware of what is actually going on, and keep track of yourself. So I suppose the point that has not been made explicitly clear there is take care of yourself also. I think that is one point that just needs to be added over there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just an observation that I wanted to make.
Okay.
Shamu bhai, I would like to add one more thing.
Okay.
I remembered chapter 2, verse 14, the Gita verse, Matra Sparshasta Kaunteya Shitoshna Sukha Dukkadaha Agama Paino Nitya Tamstitikshasva Bharata. Over here also Pujya Swamiji has very beautifully described the concept of how when we feel cold in the winter season and how when we feel hot in the summer season. The examples are very beautifully described in this home study. So I just remembered this.
Yeah, very beautiful. Thank you for reminding us. That's very correct because we often go mad or with the weather. Oh, it's raining, or we curse the weather. Actually, nothing can be done about that, except that if it is very cold, you can buy some woolen clothes or do something like or wear a sweater or something. Otherwise, nothing can be done about it. Cursing will not help. So, or just getting mentally agitated over it doesn't help ourselves or anybody. So, it's just useless. Instead, we act. We do what can be done. That's the main idea Swamiji wants to convey. Yeah, they are temporary. But even a good weather, say spring, is also temporary. Uh, Pleasure is always accompanied by pain, and they are like two sides of a coin in this world. That is, there is no permanent sukha or permanent dukkha. So yeah, I think we can move on to next verse, or
I
maybe
thought,
or we can stop here because it's 7:30. I have another session by Swaminiji at
okay,
8.
so Shamu Bhai, so next week I'll start then.
Yeah, yeah. That way we can move that. Yeah. Yeah, that would
Okay.
be good because in Gita we have these small sections, so it's easy to split with different persons. But here, splitting for the same topic for different people will uh, cause trouble. And but at the same time, if we start the same order next time, then everybody will not get the chance to do it. So we can do as Rajiv ji said.
Yeah, and Shamu Bhai, adding to that, I personally think, this is such a deep psychological subject,
Yeah,
and we people, I think we had all the tools that was necessary, and just in the name of modernization, we have lost connection to our own roots, and we
yeah,
don't
definitely.
know, and we ape the West, and we end up, like stress and it's when you read through this, right? I felt I was in some psychiatric session when he's trying to counsel us. It is such a
Yeah,
beautiful return, and it was written such a long time back, or the Swamiji has put it out recently. But it is, I don't know how we have disconnected with our own self. Is what I can add.
yeah, definitely. Because even modern psychology does not recognize the, the mithyatvam of the world or anything. They just say, okay, you have to. They don't give the reason why we should accept this. Here, actually, Swamiji gives the reason because this is a mithya reality. We are not the body, so we need not uh, take personally what is the pain and pleasure of this. So here we have a reason for that, or how we should. So that is very much important. So Vedanta is Veda. Yeah, Swamini Brahma Jnananda ji in her sessions once said that Vedanta starts where psychology ends.
Yeah, and the example that he gives of addiction, right, is so apt. Like the sort of people with like be it any sort of addiction, even food addiction. Like uh, just because you think that it's your body, you can do whatever you want, but if you're trouble, you'll trouble people around you,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it is a rippling effect.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah, very important. I would suggest you can also check out this. Advaita Academy has put up certain videos by one Beat Clifford. If anybody has come across it, or I'll share the link if
Yeah,
anybody
please,
wants.
Shama, but that will be helpful. Please share the link.
Yeah, he's a student of Harsha Vidya only. He has this sessions called has made these videos called Vedanta and Psychology and Vedanta. He is a psychologist
Wow,
himself. Has
wow.
studied Vedanta and Ashvidya. Uh,
Okay.
I'll share it in our Facebook group. Okay.
Okay, so next week, same time, Shamu bhai, or is it
No,
seven
7 o'clock.
o'clock?
7 o'clock only. Next week is
7 to
7
8.
o'clock. This week, what we had, Swamiji had some commitments on Sunday, so she moved the class to Saturday night. So I had to make it early so that I'll have some time space before it. Sorry to trouble you all for that.
No, no, Shambhu bhai. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Okay,
thanks
let's.
a lot. Thanks a lot,
Okay, I
Sam,
think
for
we
asking
can
us all this
stop by
questions.
there.
Yeah. Thank you, Shambhu. Thank you all. See you next week. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, thank you all. Bye.
पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते हरि
Oh, Thank you.
Thank you.